Let's look at the library homepage. That's library.chemeketa.edu. If you forget that URL, you can find us in My Chemeketa in the Studying tab and in the Chemeketa Single Sign-On portal. Also, the Chemeketa Public website has a link to the library at the bottom of every page. So we're pretty easy to find. The middle of the homepage has news items and announcements. We also try to point users to some useful items of information. At the bottom is a schedule of hours. You'll also find a link at the very bottom to the Virtual Learning Center. The Virtual Learning Center has academic services for students. For example, you can get computer help, you can find a tutor, you can learn new study skills, and lots of other types of information. I'm going to close that tab now and return to the library homepage. Up at the top of the page is what gets used 95% of the time. The search box is the entry to the Primo library search, which searches not 100% of what the library has, but pretty close. We'll be using that in a little while. The Articles and Databases button takes you to our database page, where you can see all the databases we have. A database is just a collection of information that's kept in such a way that you can search and find specific items of information again. So for example, your grandma's recipe box with index cards and divided by tabs that says puddings, pies, cakes, and so forth would be a database technically. Usually we're talking about an electronic collection when we say a database. It could have articles from newspapers or ebooks or streaming video or lots of things. There's a pull-down menu that lets you know all of the different types of database content that we have. I'm going to close that tab for now and return to the library homepage. The Ask a Librarian button takes us to a page that gives you all the ways you can get help from a librarian. When you're doing your research, if you have a question, you can email us using the email form to send us a question, or you can use the live chat to chat with us in real time. I monitor the chat myself during library hours when I'm not teaching a class like this, and other Chemeketa librarians do as well. But even if we're not online ourselves, we have partner librarians who have access to our resources and can help you, and that's 24/7. At night, you may have to be a little bit patient because it could be a couple of minutes before a librarian is able to answer. Sometimes they're helping more than one patron at a time. I'm going to close that tab and return to the library homepage again. That last big button is for research guides. These are made by the librarians to help you use the library's resources. There are subject guides where you can find advice on looking for a subject area like history. There are how-to guides that tell you how to do common tasks in the library, like using a specific database, for example, or evaluating sources of information. And then there are course guides. Course guides cover specific techniques to use in specific courses like this one. On the main library guides page, you can scroll down alphabetically to see the guides, or you can search by the course number or sometimes the instructor's name to find a guide. I will close that tab for now and return to the library homepage.